Alrighty, we're here with another special episode of sequencing. This time it's Blank Blues Unter, our flex support specialist, who's going to be taking me through the Blue Boys and their chances of taking out the LAN. Unter, how you going? How you feeling about the team in general?
Feeling pretty good. After a few weeks of scrims, post Contenders finals, I think everything's looking pretty good. I'm pretty confident that we can take out the whole LAN. Like, if we show up on the day, I think we can do it.
I'm fully expecting all four people I talk to say that, but you're on the...
Yeah, well, I mean, you're probably not in a good position if you think you're going to lose going into the LAN. You got to believe it, but maybe I've just got slightly more belief than the other players.
I need to inject you all with like truth serum before I do this, so I can get like the real answers. But look, all right, I'll let that sit for the moment, and I'll trust you. I'll trust that you do believe in that. So you're in sort of the non-boot camp half of the bracket, right? We've got Sydney Drop Bears and Darksided up in the top side. Those guys are both hard at work for the whole week, strategizing and working out how they're going to come into this one great day of Australian Overwatch. And then you're down there with Masterminds. Now, take me through why you think you guys can beat Masterminds, who obviously your first opponent up there on the day.
Well, I think that Masterminds, they had a really strong group stage. They went, I think, flawless in the group stage, but then they made a series of roster changes towards the end of the group stage and coming into the LAN itself, not looking good for them anymore. Not looking so good at all.
Weird changes there.
Yeah, very unusual changes, but I mean, I guess I can see where they were coming from in terms of personality clashes on the team, making everything unpleasant. But people also tend to clash personality-wise when you're doing nothing but losing in scrims. So people maybe didn't like playing with Nellery. Maybe people also don't like constantly losing scrims every day.
Okay, well, let's hope the changes have brought either some joy or some victories, like at least one or the other to Masterminds.
It brought joyous joy, but I don't know if it's going to bring
Well, anyway, look, I'll talk about that more with them. Let's get back to Blank Blue. So obviously that means you think you're going to have an easy road through to the grand finals then, where you might meet either Darksided or the Sydney Drop Bears. Now, if it was to say the Sydney Drop Bears, what do you think you guys have got over them that you could beat?
I think that we got a lot of experience together as a team. I think when everyone's going hard and everyone's focused on the game, we have really strong team synergy. We have like a really strong frontline dive, pretty good backline peeling as well, and just very, very, very mechanically strong players. I think on this team, it's probably like the most mechanically stacked team, I'd say. Even if we're not perhaps the smartest team, we're idiots who do no theory and don't scream enough.
It's all in here.
Yeah, it's all in my gigantic biceps, which I can't, as they're simply too big for my delts to lift them.
Just partial level. Just can't even get them above like waist height. That's why you play games.
Yeah. I think against the Drop Bears, we got quite a lot of synergy, a lot of experience, and I just think that, you know, in a one-to-one matchup on a good day, we win. Okay.
All right. So then the other possible grand final matchup, if you were to get there, and if they were to get there, is against Darksided, who have, as we have mentioned, you know, these guys have been boot camping. Their org didn't spend all their money on sending their other team to Taiwan and you know, leave the weird stepbrother alone in Australia.
Oh, I do love being a weird stepbrother in Australia. I do enjoy walking away with a minuscule salary over having all of my money spent on going to Adelaide for 4 days. So I guess there's that. It's a bit of give and a bit of take. But yeah, I think us versus Darksided. Darksided, I think that Billa and Termo, they both play similar roles in the team. Billa plays Genji. Well, they play the flex DPS role. Billa plays Genji to a much higher standard than Termo does, which I think gives Billa an edge over Termo. And I think they both play Sombra to a pretty similar standard. So I don't see Termo on Darksided giving the team any huge edge in, like, if you had to rank every player one-to-one against every player on every other team, I don't think that Termo pulls that team ahead so much. However, I don't know, Darksided have like a really strong core from Scylla. They all work really well together. Well, like Scylla, Skrilla, I don't know, that the core's been bounced around, but they've got a very strong core still, which despite breaking up and coming back together. So I don't know. Once again, I do think that in a series of one-to-one matchups, we just ultimately win, provided I don't miss 20 headshots on USMC and Terminal on the day.
All right, so you're hoping to split it up into duels somehow in a team game. It's a brave strategy. We'll see how it works out.
That is the blank blue strategy at this stage. Given how open we are with the amount of let's say theory work and preparatory work, sometimes we try say we'll have a theory block booked in, but then one of the youngsters will miraculously have a nap through the theory block and then be ready to go during the main block. So it sometimes be difficult to get everyone on the same page, but I think that some of that, the lack of looking at VODs all the time, I guess if you add up all the VODs that the team's core has looked at over a year and a half, they still have a pretty decent understanding of how to play the game, and the core has really good synergy.
Okay, so we're just going for the 8 hours of deathmatch grinding a day rather than the VOD review strategy.
It seems to be more like Fortnite and World of Warcraft at this stage up to that.
Okay.
God help me.
All right. I guess, you guys are seen as a very unpredictable team. You've got your good days, you've got your bad days. There's peaks and troughs as you go through. Have you done anything to try and address this and make yourself either a more consistent team or perhaps even ideally, just be hitting that peak all the time and be able to rise to the occasion when you need to, like they did the first time that some of these kids were at the ESL studio and they took out the tournament?
Yeah, well, we try, right? And I can't really talk between ESL and CG LAN as I didn't even see at that stage, really. I don't really know what happened between those two LANs. But we try really hard to try and be consistently at that high level. But it is really difficult to have everyone in a really good mood. Like, it's hard to take a loss. So if you start losing, it's hard to turn that around and start playing at full energy all the time. But I feel like the LAN environment, although I'm not sure if this happened at the LAN that the kids lost, but I feel like the LAN environment is the ultimate motivator to get people like in the zone to literally yell, communicate, everyone work together, everyone really be trying in the moment. And I think when everyone on this team is trying their hardest, fully focused on the goal of winning and not thinking about individual performance, being worried about your own individual performance, not thinking about other people on the team are doing or just tilting, things like that. When everyone's really focused, I think we come out on top because you see some incredible things in scrims when everyone is working together. You feel unbeatable when that happens.
Okay, well, I hope as you make it to the LAN, you are hyper-focused. I hope you've really you're hitting those peaks and you manage to get there for your sake. Either way, I think it's going to be a super exciting LAN. But thanks for chatting to me, Unter, and good luck this weekend.
No worries, Genome. Thank you. Although I doubt we will need luck.